Okay, controversial opinion, guys. Call of Duty Ghosts is the most underrated COD of all time. Alright, now bear with me as I ignore my previous statement for a significant portion of the video. Like many, for better or for worse, COD Ghosts is one of the big games of my childhood. It wasn't the most innovative or groundbreaking title, but the yearly COD cycle was an exciting tradition for me as well as millions of other players around the world. For most of my life, the excitement of a new COD was always keeping me going and generally excited for video games as a kid, when my options were fairly limited. I didn't even get to play most of them, at least as they came out anyway, and recently I felt a huge urge to go back and play the ones I never played or only vaguely remember. Call of Duty has always been a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine, as I've always spent most of my gamer time playing games that are more sophisticated by r/PC master race standards anyway, such as The Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Legend of Zelda, Portal, Half-Life, Crisis. Though I do love myself a deep, complicated game with long-term investment in building a character and exploring a world, I think everyone, whether they know it or not, needs a bit of brainless shooter time to relax, turn your brain off, or just blow off some steam. That being said, my brain has been off a lot lately.
We gotta get out of here! You're gonna be alright, son! Hold on, boys!
This is Call of Duty Ghosts, in its day possibly the most controversial Call of Duty release to date. Rife with innovative features previously unheard of pre-2013, features like leaning, paid characters and skins, non-linear progression in the form of squad points, a wave-based mode that unsuccessfully tried to combine the classic gameplay features of COD Zombies and Left 4 Dead, and even to say Ghost was divisive at release is beyond an understatement. It was a massive delineation from the COD experience we'd come to expect. And as we learned from subverting expectations isn't necessarily a formula for good design. At face value, at least compared to previous entries in the franchise, this wasn't exactly what your average COD player thought they were looking for. Little did we know, this would be the end of the Call of Duty Golden Era. As I'm sure we all remember, COD Ghost's successor was the infamous
Advanced Warfare!
In my opinion, the release of Advanced Warfare is the beginning of the modern COD era and the end of the Golden Era. Now I know this seems controversial to anyone who was around to remember Ghosts, but please bear with me. Here, look at Ghosts. Now look at Advanced Warfare.
Birdie's too sad.
This guy's stupid. You stupid. Ah! Ghosts.
I'm swirling.
Advanced Warfare. Ooh, I finally got my first kill streak.
God!
22.
Oh, that was a laser from the sky. Ghosts. Fun to play the game like that?
I just killed this guy camping with his Maverick. I just accidentally...
Advanced Warfare.
That was.
Yeah.
I was confused as fuck.
I totally
George
thought it was
said
like a body
don't.
falling from the air. What is going on with this guy? Notice anything?
Call of Duty will never have jetpacks.
If you remember COD's jetpack phase, I think you'll agree that all those futuristic games had this sort of disconnected, floaty feeling that you never really experienced in the pre-jetpack Call of Duties. Even post-jetpack CODs have this, especially the Treyarch ones. When I play Ghosts with an open mind, completely neutrally, I get the same feeling I got playing the old Black Ops and Modern Warfare games. All the things that made Classic COD feel like Classic COD is mostly quite intact. I still experience all that same sort of endearing clunkiness, cooked game chat audio, sweaty losers still spending all their time playing the same game long after they've reached master prestige, and latency that is sometimes great and sometimes threatens my mental sanity, which is constantly teetering on the edge of destruction. That latency, though, is where this game started to show me its real flaws. Having the luxury of playing modern CODs with servers that work about as much as a kid with a jackhammer in the middle of a highly dangerous construction site with a barely supported steel beam hanging above his head that could slip at any moment, crushing his entire body, starting at the head and eventually flattening him into a pancake made of flesh and bones, makes you forget about the days where there weren't any servers at all. Every COD before Advanced Warfare, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, worked on a peer-to-peer connection system, meaning the players were all connected relative to one player who acted as the lobby's host. On paper, this seems like a great, cost-effective way to make a modern shooter operate, right? In practical use, though, it's hell. I won't rag on this for too long, as this is less so a critique of Ghost in specific, but a recollection of a memory I had buried to preserve this pristine, perfect image of classic CODs in my brain. The feeling you get when you react quickly to a guy turning the same corner as you and landing the first 3 shots, but still losing because the connection favored the other player, is a form of disappointment that was hitherto unknown to the human species before these games. It's something your monkey descendant hairless ape body was not made to comprehend. The result of this foreign stimulus sounds a bit like this. I was
Just
already in cover!
Sitting on the corner with an LSAT. This is an even worse lobby! It's not like you farted. I'm reporting this guy actually at the very least 10 times. You smell like you fart.
Demonstration is actually
The Remington. No. Oh, stop! And I've got this so.
Oh, he knifed me from so far away! What was that? This isn't the only rage-inducing part of this game, though. Far from it, in fact. This game is cheesy as a mother.
Dog.
Oh! Now to preface this, all these things are probably astronomically exacerbated by the inherently flawed peer-to-peer connection system. But that doesn't excuse the effect it has on overall gameplay combined with these things. IEDs, IMSs, ballistic vests, riot shields, duty poo-poo player visibility, ghillie suits, ghost, and of course, the pay-to-win gun that can be toggled between a rapid-fire SMG and a long-range assault rifle. Though to be fair, the assault rifle mode is actually kinda garbage, but the close-range SMG mode still obliterates. And you would think the people that are still left playing this game are just chilling playing an old COD they used to love, right?
You're dead wrong.
But this isn't a psychoanalysis of the COD player base and how unconditionally toxic they are. Not only can MP be a bit of a... But we haven't even talked about the campaign or extinction. I'm gonna be honest, there isn't much to say about this game's campaign that hasn't been said a million times already. It's boring, incredibly contrived, shallow, very often poorly acted.
What the hell is that talking about? What's Odin? Come on!
And this really happened.
So the legend goes.
Come on, Dad. You don't honestly believe that story's true.
Yeah, I do. Come on, let's head back to the house.
And oh my god, the ending, jeez. But there definitely are some really cool scenes, and it has a really engaging concept with surprisingly refreshing level design. Like, look at this, dude.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, push!
Odin Control, the orbital weapon's got a successful test fire ping.
Roger, Mosley. Tracking weapon dry fire signal.
Hey Baker, here's our ride. Let's head in.
Payload, this is Odin Control. Ready to receive.
Odin Control, we're heading back to debrief the new crew.
Roger. We're prepping airlock C. Shuttle is in final docking sequence. Payload, 10 meters. Begin rotate.
They're uploading more targets to payloads 2, 3, and 4. Houston, what do we do?
Odin Control, we have no choice. We're scuttling the station. I'm sorry, Mosley.
Copy, Houston. Baker, we need to move!
Watch your step.
Shit, whoa.
Now that we've gotten that out of the way, it's time for extinction.
Intel reports the last extinction squad to come through this town went MIA. Look at this place. It's been a bloody battleground since they were unearthed. Spectre 1, take this drill and destroy any hives on your way to the crater. Arm that nuke and haul ass back here. Let's go. Good luck, gentlemen.
Roger that. Spectre 1 copies.
Flashback to 2012. Treyarch just came off their biggest year to date and had a huge success with its non-linear, wave-based magical zombies mode with an optional secret ending in each map. How do you choose to succeed that? Well, too bad your opinion's wrong because they did aliens. But not really aliens because they came from underground, but they also have these giant crystal hive things that drop in from space and birth even more aliens? So are they really from Earth, or is this perhaps a sentient race of creatures who colonized Earth's underground millions of years ago? It's completely linear with an objective you have to follow to progress in the map. Unless you want to sit in the same area and wait for the aliens to overrun you and see how long you can survive. That's actually a pretty good idea. It wasn't fun. It seems they've just extracted the wet, bloody, still warm bones of Treyarch zombies and shoved them into the half-dissected corpse of Valve's Left 4 Dead. I mean, look at it. Purchasable weapons strewn throughout the map that can be bought with in-game currency earned by killing enemies. Purchasable traps. Relatively linear progression to a specific endpoint in the map. Though even Left 4 Dead has some form of exploration in it. Intermittent boss enemies, and so on. Infinity Ward took the bare minimum basics of these two great colossal zombie shooter franchises and forgot to glue the parts together. Though Infinity Ward can be given the benefit of the doubt on this one, having never done a mode quite like this before, with their closest attempt to being Spec Ops. This mode still feels as though it's a shell of what it could have been. Now, I know, I've been doing a terrible job of providing any support for the entire statement this video is trying to make, but allow me to suck on some ghost balls a little bit to hopefully get that sweet nostalgia cum. Wait, no, that wasn't supposed to sound gay. As I went on about earlier, this game is at its core 100% evocative of the feeling every old COD player gets when they hop on games from the early Black Ops and Modern Warfare series. Playing multiplayer, without fail, puts me in a mental position of almost childlike whimsy I can often find difficult to get myself in when playing these new CODs. Something about the way this game fundamentally feels puts me into a headspace where I can giggle at ridiculous going-ons in game chat, enjoying the endearingly awful controls that feel just like the jank I used to know from CODs of the golden era, and have absolutely cursed conversations with my friends. This game also has a lot of features that often get skimmed over in discourse about this game, some of which are now mainstay features of the series and many other shooters, namely, a pretty wide variety of purchasable cosmetics. This has been in every single subsequent game in the franchise. and I almost always find myself quite impressed with a lot of the skins they managed to work into these games. Almost always. This game even tried riding on the Battlefield Levolution craze at the time, meaning level evolution. These are actually more interesting than I've ever really seen them get credit for. Like in Octane, if you can be the first one to make your way to the middle without getting shredded by the Ripper, you can get a free Nighthawk that's hidden inside a shipping container you have to blow up.
Night Owl ready.
And there's also this. Though this is the only time they've ever touched these features, I think it's infinitely better than the pay-to-win features of more recent games, since it's rewarding skill and knowledge of the map, rather than punishing you for not stealing your mom's credit card.
43!
Even Extinction is fun and engaging in its own ways. The intensity of getting absolutely overrun by aliens and narrowly surviving a wave to progress further into a section of the map you haven't seen is actually quite exhilarating. Though this second map was an improvement on the mode, I found, unless we wanted to sweat our
monkey nuts
off, we had to switch to casual mode instead of regular to alleviate the artificially difficult enemy spam, which wasn't much of a problem in the first map after a couple of runs. Getting past the first area with this, and that, and those, and them, being constantly spammed at you was, to say the least. Even so, a lot of my problems with the mode are somewhat alleviated, like the option to explore to find locker keys to open up lockers around the map to get free customized guns, even a wonder weapon, and a more open map, even if not by a great margin. I can't speak for the other maps, as I don't own them and I'm recording this before I've purchased any of them, if I ever do. But if they kept on this track, Extinction was certainly a decidedly better mode by the end of the Ghost lifecycle. We are not going to talk about the campaign though. With that, I want you to understand that my message isn't that Ghost is the best COD game of all time, or is even up there with the greats, but that it's a severely underrated game individual of the image we have of what a great Call of Duty should be based on our memory of the golden days. I'm not trying to tell anyone what to think or that this game is among the best COD games of all time, or should be praised among all else. I've had more fun going back to games I know from years past, Ghosts, Skyrim, Portal, Dark Souls, Titanfall, Battlefield, I could go on, than I think I've ever had on these sweaty messes. So what I want you to take away from this, if anything at all, is that you should give old games you brushed off a second chance. Sometimes, it can be worth it, and put a smile on your face when you least expected it.